Hello, I'm back again to do your quiz. I don't know how many of you are going to appear. You will wait for a few of you to arrive. I'm very, very sorry, but I don't understand how this thing keeps cutting out. It's not my computer, it's your computer, I think. And when you all stop moaning, it's a bit boring, to be honest. I'm really a bit bored of the moaning. We've got Marianne, we've got Wits End, third time lucky, says Wits End. But no, I don't really understand all these people complaining about noise because it works for everybody else. So I don't understand why it doesn't work for you. So anyway, we're back again and here we are. And if you start moaning, I'm not going to be joining in with the moaning. So no more moaning. I've had enough of that. Absolutely boring. Absolutely bored of it. Um, oh, you say it's buffering again. Okay. Right. Okay. You're moaning again. Okay. So you can't hear me. Well, Lynn says it's fine. So why are some of you saying it isn't fine? Um, I really don't need all this moaning and groaning. It's very boring. It's absolutely tedious. It's fine, says Wits End. It's NW. It's okay for now, says Tina De Silva. Daisy can hear me perfectly. So thank you, Daisy. Thank you. So anyway, let's get on with this. Let's get a few more of you in here. You've got 16 of you. When we get a few more, we'll start this quiz, but we can't start with 16. That's not really enough. Right, okay. It's fine here. Anyway, we've got lots of lovely people here, so thank you to all. Well, if you don't like my program, you can bog off. You don't have to be on my program. So if you don't like it, get off my program. Get out of my pub, as Peggy Mitchell would say. So you can bog off as well. Precisely. Don't like people who are rude to me. Not going to tolerate it. So, no, go away. Not acceptable in 1984 and definitely not acceptable in 2025. If you want to be rude to me, get off my channel. I've got more comebacks than Frank Sinatra, says Biscuitec. Thank you, Biscuitec, for your kind email. I did respond. Thank you. It's a little hard for me to send all sorts of things until I get my new computer. So I hope you got my message because using the telephone device to do emails is not very easy. Also, right. Who's getting told off? Well, a nasty person, that's all. I shall leave it at that. Right. Biscuitex says, yes, I got it. Thank you. Well, no, thank you. You're the kind person who sent me a lovely email saying you'd send me some books. So thank you. You are the star of the show. So thank you very much. And when I'm back in England, I hope to meet you. It'll be a pleasure to meet you. So, right. Okay. Miss Marple. Right. Okay. We're all back again, and we've got 35 people. Good Moaning is taken from Hello Hello, the comedy show about the war. Surely you remember that. Yes, Good Moaning is, yes, of course. My friend Carol Ashby was in Hello Hello. Yes, of course. Carol Ashby, the interior decorator, who was, of course, an actress and all sorts of other things. Good old Carol, yes. Carol with an E, yes. There you go. So Carol was a friend of mine, and there we are. Big up to Biscuitec, yes. Tina De Silva, yes. Biscuitec is sending me some books. Very nice of Biscuitec. I could do with a few books, and Lady Min could do with a few books, because quite frankly, we are in need of a bit of educational matter. We can't live only on the Daily Mail, the Daily Telegraph, and the Financial Times. It's a little bit restrictive. Let's be honest. Okay, so right, moving along. Thank you to Mother Duck who says tap the like button, everybody. A like button. Yeah, that's a very Yorkshire way to say it. So there we go. Miss Marple will send me something. It's very nice of you. The more gin, the merrier. That's what we really need is gin, English gin. But anyway, we don't need no, we don't need anything. We don't need you to send anything. Please don't worry about sending anything. It's all very kind, but books would be appreciated, and so would gin and mini cheddars. We need more mini cheddars. That's definitely one thing. We don't need any more Yorkshire tea. We've got plenty of that. We can survive on the Yorkshire tea we've got already, but I could do with some more mini cheddars. That's one thing that is impossible to buy here. You can't buy that anywhere. The supermarket, the big supermarket, its English section is completely pathetic. All it has is baked beans. English section is baked beans. It doesn't have anything useful. It has nothing that is English in it. It's American crap. Absolutely awful. What do I think of the Citadel gin? It's got too many botanicals, as you know. I've always said that all along. I did review it many years ago and said such. But it's okay. It's all right. And it's cheaper than Tanqueray, so that's all right. Beans on toast. Well, I'd love a toasted cheese sandwich. And my friend Jackie, lovely Lady Roth, Jackie Roth, she prefers, she loves a toasted cheese sandwich. So, but anyway, I've got a recipe from the Financial Times for one with onion. And I love a bit of toasted cheese with onion, and that would be so nice. So I will make that for myself. I would have loved a fish finger sandwich myself tonight, but obviously it's a bit late now to eat because it's 9 o'clock, so it's time to go to bed soon for me. I'll go to bed at 10 o'clock. I need to sleep. And there we go. Right. Have I ever eaten the Greenall's gin? Drunk, I would say, not eaten. The Greenall's gin, yes, of course I've had the Greenall's gin because I know where it's made. It's nothing special. It's all right. It's okay. It's average. Average. It would be my answer to that one. Right. You don't like gins with too many botanicals. I totally agree with you. Absolutely correct. You like a croque monsieur. Spelled Mosure. That's an interesting way of spelling it. Okay. Right. Do I tend to wake up early? I wake up generally at about 5 a.m. and then I kind of cruise through listening to Radio 4 for a little while, and then I eventually get up. So, yeah, I do wake up at about 5 a.m. You like the Marks and Spencer's special gins? Well, there you go. Lisa likes a fish finger sandwich, and you had one recently. Well, I'd love a fish finger sandwich right now if somebody could make me one, but nobody ever makes me anything. I have to do everything for myself, so I don't have the opportunity to have things made for me, which is a bit unfortunate. It would be so nice if somebody could make me a fish finger sandwich, but no, I haven't got anyone to do that. So if I want one, I have to do it for myself. Maybe I'll have one in a moment. Maybe after we do this quiz, I will actually just have a late night feast, just with a bit of tomato ketchup rather than everything else. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Good idea. Why not? I think I need a fish finger sandwich. Um, you know, sometimes you just need something, and I need a fish finger sandwich. I love burgers and I love fish finger sandwiches. I love simple food. At the end of the day, I don't need all this fancy nonsense. Everybody else loves the fancy food, and I can have all the fancy food, and I can have all. I've been to the best restaurants in the world. I've been to the French Laundry. You know, if you've been to the French Laundry, you've been to the best restaurant in the world. But I go to Bellamy's, I go to the Savoy, the Ritz. I've been to everywhere. I've been to every bloody restaurant on the planet. But I'd still rather have a fish finger sandwich. It's just how I am. It's just me. I'm a very, very. I love contrast. I love amazing meals. And the other day we had a 5-course meal with our lovely friends, and it was delightful. Absolutely superb food and lovely, and the whole. They made a huge effort. But equally, I just love a fish finger sandwich. I love a burger. I love a steak and chips. I love fish and chips. You know, um, I love pasta with a bit of pesto. I'm just very, very simple. I can do either or, and that's because most people who are into food can actually we can do anything. We don't have we. Sometimes it's the simplest things that are the best. I love roast beef. Roast chicken. Roast chicken is probably my favorite out of all of the roasts of the roasts. But the way I cook it is with lots of lemon, and I do it my way. And my friend who came the other day, he loved it so much. He said it was the best roast chicken he'd ever had. So he liked my way of cooking roast chicken, but that was just it's no better than anyone else's. It's just one way of doing it. I'm into cooking. I love food, but I'm very particular about what food I like, and I love a lasagna. But of course, everything, and I love a curry. I love spice. Spice is the thing that I've been really missing whilst I've been here in this silly country, because they don't do spice here. They're pathetic with spice. There's no spice in anything. I would so love and adore to have a curry right now. If I could have a curry, oof, I'd be so delighted. That's what I really want. I'd love a Ruby Murray. Yeah, that's what I really, really need in my life right now is a curry. I used to love curry, and I've not had it for 6 months. It's terrible. I feel deprived, totally deprived. Absolutely awful that I don't have a curry. So I'd love a curry. That's what I really want. So the next thing I need in my life is a curry. Yep. Wherever I go next, I will be the first thing I'll ever have. I'll go straight to the curry house. That's what I want. I want a curry. I don't need all this. The problem here is they just they don't do any spice. They're not into spice. So I love spice. I love spice and all things nice. So no, it's very sad that I don't have a curry. So no, I'm not very happy about that. So okay, that's a failure. That is the big failure of this place. Lack of curry. So anyway, next. Okay. Don't like the lack of curry. No. Um, right. Would I like cocaine or caviar or beans and toast and lambrini? I don't need cocaine. I don't need caviar. I don't need beans on toast, and I don't need lambrini. I don't want any of them. So there's your answer. Right. Okay. Will I go on the Sean Atwood channel again? You enjoy me being on his program. Sean Atwood tried to call me today to invite me to a party at his house. I cannot attend and I won't be going, but I wish Sean Atwood all the best. And I have no problem with Sean Atwood. And of course, if Sean Atwood decides he would like to invite me to be on his program, I will happily consider, depending on who the other guests are. It depends on who the other guests are, because I have to be more selective about the way I appear on television programs in the future, because um, I have my own things to do, and I don't need to be put on programs with people who are not suitable. And some of the people on his program are unsuitable. Some of them are completely suitable. So, it's a 50-50. But I will not be going on programs anymore. I have made a decision. I have been advised by my good friend, who is a very well known person who, many of you may know who he is. He is considered a bit dangerous, but he's a wonderful friend of mine. And he and I have come to the conclusion that it's better that I only go on programs that are with people who are suitable for my kind of audience. So no, I will not be going on programs with just anybody anymore, because I must be a little more specific, because I am, I'm myself, and I don't want to be on a program with a complete lunatic. And some people invite people on who are a little bit unsuitable. So no, I won't be going on with unsuitable people. So anyway, Sean Atwood has many lovely guests, and I hope to go on with some of his lovely guests, not his guests who I don't want to go on with. So I won't be going on with those anymore. So there you go. I think that makes the situation clear. I'm very specific in the way I communicate. And what are you going on about now?
Bird.
No, that's a different bird.
Oh.
Oh, we've got an evil bird outside. Sorry, just give me a moment. I have to go and deal with it. Go away. Right. No, it's all right. Sorry, I do apologize, viewers. The lady in the background, Miss Minnie, as you know, she was trying to be protective of the little bird. The little bird is still hiding in its little corner, but the evil bird has come back, the big bird that wants to kill it. So we can't do anything about that. What?
Which is that one?
It's a big bird. Oh, for goodness sakes. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The bird has come back, so there we go. Yes, it's Claire Mandel. Yes, it does look like. So we'll name that bird Claire Mandel. Claire Mandel, the evil bird. Okay, it looks like Katie Hopkins. Yeah, it could be Katie Hopkins or Claire Mandel. The evil birds. Yeah, the two of them. So there's two evil birds. Yeah, okay, yeah. Lady Min is being busy bird spotting. And yes, she spotted Claire Mandel and Katie Hopkins. So the two evil birds are outside. There we go. That's what they're calling. The audience are calling them Claire Mandel and Katie Hopkins. So there we go. So the audience have named the evil two birds. Well, we won't want them back, and we don't want them back. They're not nice. They're not our birds. They're not our friends. If I had the stick, I would have hit the bird, but unfortunately, I don't have the stick next to me, because we have to make them go away. But our little bird is safe, so it's all right. Don't worry about it. Minnie Thatcher is not AWOL. No, Mr. Balding, you are wrong. Mr. Balding, the bird is safely locked up in its little chamber, but the nasty birds are coming back. So we'll have to build another bigger shelter. if the horrible bird is coming back. Right, so I'll have to get my stick back, ready to whack it into oblivion. I don't actually harm the bird. I just send it on its merry way with a little bit of a shove. So, right, okay. I could do in my stick, but unfortunately, I don't have my stick. So, uh, play a cat meowing and they'll soon go. Well, no, no, no. The birds are all making all lots of noise themselves. So, anyway, this one's coming back because it thinks that it can have a bit of fun. So, yes, the terrifying film by Hitchcock. Of course, there was the birds, the birds, the birds. I did a location tour of every one of Hitchcock's locations in San Francisco with an amazing man who was the world expert on Hitchcock. That was a fascinating little tour, and the birds, and you know how he threw the birds at Tippi Hedren. Poor old Tippi Hedren had the birds, the crows, thrown at her again and again, and the way they assaulted her. What a nasty thing to do. You know, he was completely mad, was that Hitchcock. He was a complete nutcase. But anyway, I know a little bit about Hitchcock and the birds and San Francisco. So, you know, I know all sorts of things about all sorts of weird things. That's me. My life is a series of weird stories, and but San Francisco and the birds, oh my god. And Tippi Hedren, oh my god, poor little Tippi Hedren. I felt very sorry for Tippi. Tippi was tipped over the edge by the throwing of the birds. So there we go. Yes, he was awful to her, says Lee. Yes, you were quite right. Jane says he had an obsession. The other Jane says he was obsessed. NW loves Min. There you go. You got a lover. Carol says thumbs up. Lee says what an awful man he was. Right. Audrey had nightmares after the movie. Oh dear. Poor Tippy, says Keeley. Trevor adores Lady Min.
What?
Trevor adores you.
Oh, thank you, Trevor.
Trevor. His name is Trevor.
Oh, yeah. Lots of love.
She says lots of love. Anne of Cleves likes Melanie Griffiths. Okay. Miss Marple says lots of love in the room.
I need it.
Biscuitex says you have a lovely voice.
Oh.
Connor Holmes says I think we all adore the Lady Min.
Oh.
Audrey says Lady Min is a star.
Thank you.
She says thank you. God, for once she's actually polite. It's unbelievable.
Well, I have to put up with him.
Iris says love from me to Lady Min. Iris. Connor would like you to read a bedtime story.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Tina De Silva says smile and happiness to Lady Min. Jane O'Keefe says we all love Lady Min. Woodsock says it's time Lady Min was nice to Matthew.
Well, I'm nice to Matthew all the time.
Mr. Balding says Lady Min should be recognized by the king.
What?
You should be recognized by the king.
The king? I don't want to be with him.
Wendy Terry says you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Audrey says everyone should have a lady min in their lives.
What?
Everyone should have a lady min in their lives.
But they want a lady min in their lives.
No, everyone should have a lady min in their lives.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Miss Marple says you brought joy to all our lives.
Oh,
The whole chat adores you when you behave. That's what I will add. Anyway, enough is enough. I think you've given her enough affection. That's enough.
need to clean my teeth.
She wants to clean her teeth. Well, the most of the audience would think that you probably need more wine because that's what you're into. What's Min short for? Well, that's her name. That's all she's called. She does have another name, but that's different. Right, okay. Okay. Well, we're not going to have the little bird attacked.
Oh,
Where are you going now? Right,
don't know.
she's getting up. I don't know. Do you need the bathroom?
No.
If you need the bathroom, go.
Shut up.
No, if you need to go to the bathroom, you must go.
I don't want to go to the bathroom.
Well, why are you sitting up?
Because I need to get up.
I don't know. This is where we get to a problem. This is when we get to a problem.
Why don't you get up?
Well, I don't need to go to the bathroom.
Well, neither do I.
What do I think is what's happening in America? Well, I think Gavin Newsom is going to be grandstanding because, of course, he wants to be president. Of course, Donald Trump is grandstanding because he's just a bit of a nuisance. The pair of them are a petulant pair, and everybody else is stuck in the middle. So I don't think there really is a need for all of this nonsense that's going on. Let's be honest. There we go. Yes, well, you don't need to mention a certain word. No, certainly not. But that's where someone might need to go. So, definitely no West Indian. No. I don't think if you said that she was West Indian, she would like that very much. No, she's definitely not West Indian.
Oh, no.
No, that's not going to be.
Come flying.
Now she thinks the bird has flown the nest. Well, let me go and check the bird. Are you going to go to the bathroom or not, or what are you doing? I don't know. What are you?
Now, no.
Why are you getting up?
Because I need to get up. I'm not allowed to walk or talk or.
Well, you're ruining my program.
What's that got to do with it?
Why are you ruining my program? You're shouting in the background. Be quiet. Sorry, I do apologize, audience. She does like to interrupt, and it's not correct, of course, as we know. So we don't really need shouting in the background, do we? No, thank you. So anyway, she wants to shout and yell, and there we go again. Yeah, more noise. Yes, it was going so well, precisely, Jane, and then suddenly she decides to start shouting. Not very helpful. Right. And now the bird is making a noise as well. So, oh dear, we've got a problem of little Minnie Thatcher making a racket. The little bird is making a racket. So, before I begin on the quiz, I'm just going to have to quickly have a look at the bird. I don't know what it needs, but it might need some water. Maybe that's what it needs. Perhaps it needs some water. So I'll be back in 2 seconds, and then we'll do our quiz, and then I'll clear off. It doesn't need anything else. It's quite capable of looking after itself for the moment. It's got plenty of food. It's got plenty of water. It's a spoilt brat, and it's time the spoilt brat learnt to behave itself. So it's not getting anything else. So let's do our quiz. Let's begin with our quiz.
It needs to swim in the sea.
No, we're doing our quiz. Just be quiet. Stop interfering in my quiz. It is ridiculous to be interrupted continually by stupid people. So
Oh,
it is time I did my quiz. I don't know where my other thing is, but oh well. I'll have to put it on this. Right. Okay. Question number 1. Are we ready for a quiz? Have we got anyone to help me with my quiz? But I will do it myself. Right. The first question to you is, where in Kent is Screaming Alley located? Screaming Alley. Where is Screaming Alley? It's not Janet Evans, no. It's in Kent. It's not Janet Evans, no. Janet Evans is a person. She's ghastly, but it's not. It's not in Knob End. You haven't had this question before because I've written this question today. It's not Broadstairs. It's not Sevenoaks. It's not Reading. It's not Canterbury. It's not Gillingham. It's not Ashburn. It's not Shaggers Lane. It's not.
Isle of Wight.
It's not the Isle of Wight is not in Kent. The mad woman is completely mad. Obviously, it's not Margate. It's not Hythe. It's not Bromley. It's not Rear End. It's not Shepley. Half of which don't even exist.
It is Margate.
It's not in Margate at all. So you're just stupid.
There's someone close by.
It's nowhere near Margate. So you're talking a load of old.
You should know. You live there.
Yeah, well, it's not Sevenoaks. It's not Chorley Wood. It's not Herne Bay. Jane O'Keefe. Jane O'Keefe is the winner. Jane gets the point. Jane OK. Jane OK, I'm going to call you. Okay, of course, it's in Ramsgate. Screaming Alley, Ramsgate. I love the name. I think what a wonderful name.
Oh,
Where do you live? Screaming Alley.
Ramsgate, I told you.
She didn't say it correctly. Totally wrong. Okay, in the northeast of England, what is the slang used for glasses? My glasses or spectacles? What do you call them in the Northumberland, northeast? Geordie or whatever. It's not goggles. It's not specs. It's not gaffers. It's not gigs. Well, gigs is close, but you've not spelt it correctly. So I'll accept the first correct spelling. It is like gigs, but it's not gigs. It's not goggles. TMTB gets it. TMTB. First point goes to you. Of course, it's your gigs. It's the gigs. Okay, with which sport is Jean-Paul Van Heck associated? Jean-Paul Van Heck. It is not rugby. Anne of Cleves gets it with football. Anne of Cleves, Anne of Cleves, Cleve, whatever. You get it. It's football. So, of course, he was a key player for Brighton and Hove Albion, the Netherlands. On the south coast, he was defence, consistent and reliable performer, and powerful. So he was a very good player. Very good. Okay, with which sport is Dorian Boccolacci associated? Dorian Boccolacci associated.
Football.
Well, she's completely wrong, and she's not allowed. Woodsox gets it. Well done, Woodsox. 1 point to you. Of course, it is motor racing. He's Formula One. He's into TikTok, Instagram. His signature phrase is, "I didn't get it." I don't know what that means, but strange things to come out with. Okay. In which year did the delicious cream cake La Tarte Trapezienne become registered? What year was Tarte Trapezienne registered? Uh, and,
85.
and I had one yesterday. No, it was not 85, and she is wrong shouting. She's not allowed to shout anyway. Um, her answers are not considered because she's not part of the thing. Miss Marple is very close. I'll allow Miss Marple, who says 1954. Miss Marple is the closest. It was 1955. So Miss Marple said 1954. So I'll allow that. Okay, it's close. Okay. As of 2025, which is the world's largest listed hedge fund management firm? Which is the largest listed hedge fund firm? It is not BlackRock. No. It's not Pharma. It's not BlackRock. It's not Fidelity. It's not S&P. No. 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 It's not Chase Morgan. It's not Prudential. It's not Hedgers. Audrey gets it with Man Group. Well done, Audrey. Audrey is the winner. So no cheating going on there because you're moaning about people cheating. No, Audrey got the answer fair and square. So well done to Audrey. Of course, it was Man Group. They have 1,700 employees. They manage $172.6 billion. They're an asset management firm. They're also called Man AHL, Man Group. So there we go. Okay, what do a frog, a pigeon, and a tomato have in common in relation to the Northern Ireland-born fashion designer Jonathan Anderson? What do they have in common? They're not hats, no. Shoes, no. Not pets, no. Not dinner. He's not put them on a hat or a painting. They're not part of a logo. They're not edible, no. They're not colours. No. They're not scarves. They're not jewellery. They're not pets. No, they weren't in the willows. They didn't live in the water. Well, there you go. Jonna gets it. Jonna, a new entrant. They were all inspirations for handbags he designed. He designed a handbag in the shape of a pigeon, a tomato, and a frog. There you go. So he designed handbags in those shapes. He designed the pigeon clutch, as seen in Sex and the City. The Dior he worked for, J.W. Anderson, the heirloom tomato bag he designed. He was born in 1984. He was dyslexic. He had a bit of a scandal because he was very anti-Semitic, which is, we don't like anti-Semitic people. We don't like Greta Thunberg. I think Greta is the worst. Grim Greta should be thrown in the sea. I'm very sorry the Israelis didn't do the right thing. They should have just locked that up that nasty little rat and kept her, because quite frankly, we don't want Grim Greta back. Greta Thunberg is the worst person on the bloody planet. I am bored to tears. hearing about grim aggressor. As Wits End says, she can bog off. Jane Hennessy says, I like Greta. Well, Jane, I disagree with you. I think you are totally wrong. Greta is grim. Jules B says, I can't bear her. Wits End says she's a nuisance. Biscuitex says, if she floats, she's a witch. I totally agree with you. Um, John Clifford says, I was hoping the pirates got her. Yeah, well, we hate Greta. There's only one of you here who likes her thus far. Put her in the bin. She's like a troll. Yeah, what do we think of Grim Greta? Right, okay, viewers, let's have a bit of a poll. She's a naughty girl. She's like a troll. Oh God, you don't like her. I think she's been manipulated by her elders. I totally agree with you. I've always said this all along. I think it's down to mum and dad. I think mum and dad are the very evil people. Um, Tina De Silva says, I'm impartial. LOL. Oh, well, she's a grown woman, says Linz. Well, what does that mean? She's worse than Claire Mandel. Well, I totally agree with that. Claire Mandel is not as bad as her. She's a spoilt brat, says NWEV. She has autism, says Leslie. They have fixed ideas. She's an attention seeker, says Nana. Greta, no frigs to give. Right, says Trevor. Right, so basically the majority agree. We don't like grim Greta. Greta should be thrown down a well. She is from hell. She's the worst person on the planet. She's absolutely awful. King Charles is a lovely man, and I like King Charles very much, but he got it completely wrong by spending time with that nasty little piece of toe rag. She is a piece of toe rag who deserves throwing in a ditch. I cannot stand Greta Thunberg or her ghastly parents. Her parents are even worse than her because they allowed this to happen. They created this monster because they wanted to be famous and they couldn't be famous as a rock musicians themselves. So then they tried to palm off the stupid child. Absolutely awful. Greta's parents are awful. Don't like Greta, says Wendy. Well said. She should protest in Israel instead of trying to get into Gaza. Put her in with Ghislaine. Yeah, put her in with Ghislaine. Totally. She's batshit crazy, says SS Racing. Totally agree with you. Yeah. Trevor says such balanced opinions. Well, if you don't like our opinions, well, we're entitled to our opinions, Trevor. But we like you very much, and you're entitled to your opinion. If you want to support Grim Greta, good for you. Stick her on the baby Stockholm. Yeah, let's lock her up. Her parents exploited her, says Jane O'Keefe. Yep, totally agree. Right. No, we don't do 50-50. We don't have to do 50-50. On my channel, if we all agree that if we don't like something, we'll express it. And the majority here agree with me on this particular topic. On other topics, you don't agree with me, but we don't like Grim Greta, do we? So Greta is appalling. Lock her up, throw her on the Bibby Stockholm, chuck her out of the country, get rid of it. Well, we don't want her on the Bibby Stockholm because we don't want her in England. It's better Greta goes off to wherever she goes, wherever the hell we can. We don't have to have anything to do with her. Do we really? People go on about illegal immigrants. Well, we don't want Greta Thunberg in Britain. Go away, Greta. Just go away. You're a pest. You're a petulant pest. Awful, awful, awful woman. There we go. Lynn says some of us like her. Oh, well, there you are. Well, you're entitled to like her, but I just don't. So there you go. You're entitled. Technically, she was in a country. She was in international waters. Well, so what? She's just an attention-seeking little pest. She should bog off. She is a nuisance. Awful woman. She should have stayed lost in the forest with her brother Hansel. She's a boil on the bum of society, says Wit's End. Totally agree with you. Put her in the baby submarine, i.e., blow her up. Yeah, well, I wish she would go. Greta is an alien from Uranus. So there we are, says Mary Taylor. You're not a fan of her either, are you? So no, right. Okay, well, I get I get the joy of the room is we don't like Greta, do we? So Grim Greta, bog off, you stupid piece of petulant pest. You are a nuisance. Awful. Wicked woman. Don't like you, Greta. Right, so that's the end of Greta. We've done Greta. Grim Greta. Where are we up to on this quiz? I can't remember where we were up to. Right. We did the frog. Okay, with which sport is Norwegian Erling Haaland associated? Which sport is Erling Haaland associated?
Tennis.
It's not skiing, it's not golf. The first person to get correct was Woodsox. So Woodsox is now in the lead. It is Premier League football, 2025 Manchester City striker. He has lofty standards, supposedly. So there we go. Which illustrator and artist painted Young Valedictorian in 1922? Young Valedictorian.
Tennis.
Why would you say tennis about a painter? That's the most stupid answer I've ever heard.
Cricket.
Why would you say cricket? That's even more stupid. I'm sorry, the person shouting in the background is really not helping the matter. Okay, which illustrator and artist painted Young Valedictorian in 1922? It's not anything to do with cricket or football, so nonsense. Right. I do apologize. It wasn't Picasso, it wasn't Constable, it wasn't Audrey Beardsley, no. It wasn't Min for the win, because, well, she clearly thinks it's something to do with football. It wasn't Wainwright. Wainwright wrote books about walking. He's got nothing to do with it, so you're stupid as well. Dance Up is the winner. Well done, Dance Up. It was, of course, Norman Rockwell. Well done to Norman Dance Up. So, of course, it was Norman Rockwell who use of light was likened to Rembrandt. It was a girl with a globe and a map. It suggests the vast world before her, and the men in the background and the people in the background are suggesting that she's taking wise advice, and then she's holding a piece of paper, and it's all about her future. So it was a very interesting painting, actually. I didn't know anything about this painting until today, so I learned a lot about that. So there you go. You learn something new every day, and that was what I learned today. I learned all about that painting. Right. Okay. So, right. What does beetling, and now this is something that Lady Min should have known about, but she probably doesn't, do to fabric? What does beetling do to fabric?
I can't even hear.
Beetling. Beetling. What does beetling do to fabric? It does not. Yes, it doesn't make it blobby. It doesn't make it shrink. It doesn't bleach it. It doesn't dye it. It doesn't bobble it. It doesn't. No. Beetling. It's an Irish thing that happens.
Fabric.
Yes. What does it do to it? It doesn't soften it. It doesn't stretch it. It doesn't dye it red. It doesn't remove bubbles. It doesn't crease it. It doesn't make.
Scotland.
She claims it makes it Scotland. That's incorrect, of course. It doesn't soften it. It doesn't wax it. It doesn't make it static. It doesn't felt it. It
Made a
doesn't
mistake, Yorkshire.
It doesn't waterproof it. No. It doesn't make holes in it. It doesn't dye it.
Yorkshire.
It doesn't make it Yorkshire. No. No.
Derbyshire.
Why would it make it Derbyshire? It doesn't weave it. It doesn't make it flatter. No, it doesn't make it moth-proof. It doesn't ripple it. You're all useless. Right, okay. You've all failed. You're all the weakest link. Okay.
Leicestershire.
No. All of you talk a load of rubbish. So beetling toughens fabric. That is what beetling is all about. It's an Irish thing with linen. It's the industry. Ad Sheen and William Smythe is the last beetler in the world as of 2025. So she didn't bother to read the article that I gave her in the Financial Times about fabrics. So you'd have thought she'd have actually bothered to read that magazine, but she didn't bother to read it. Anyway, there we go. In which Kent seaside town would you find the Shell Grotto? Where would you find the Shell Grotto in Kent?
Where you find what?
The Shell Grotto.
Silent Grotto.
Linz gets the point. Well done, Linz, a new entrant. It is Margate. The Shell Grotto is a folly decorated with 4 million shells. It was discovered in 1835. The artist and the origin of how it came about is unknown. So nobody knows how it came about, but it's a grotto in Margate full of shells. Okay, on which broadcasting outlet did the 1970s sitcom starring John Cleese, Faulty Towers, air? Which broadcasting outlet? The first person to say it was Woodsox. So Woodsox has now got 3 points. You're now in the lead. Woodsox, you've got 3 points, as against everybody else's 1 point, and the rest of you have got none. It's BBC One. You said BBC. I would have accepted just BBC. Okay, which American businessman turned politician once declared himself the king of debt in 2016? Who declared himself the king of debt in 2016? Miss Marple can have the points. You're now in second. Miss Marple, well done. Of course, it was Donald Trump. He also said in 1992 to New York Magazine, I was the cover boy, I was the leader of depression. Okay, which type of wine featured most prominently in Bridget Jones's diary? Which type of wine was the wine that featured? Jancis Robinson described it as big, bold, and comforting. The correct answer is Matt Luke Ken. Yes, it's Chardonnay. That was the thing. And Chardonnay has since changed. Matt Luke, you can have a point. Okay, right. Okay. Okay, if Tom Ford, the fashion designer, were having a bad day, up to how many times a day did he get in the bathtub? How many? Matt Luke gets a second point. It is 5. You've obviously been reading the Financial Times like me. He liked to get in the bathtub 5 times a day. Supposedly, the bath gives stress relief. The Danish prefer a sauna and a shower. Some people prefer booze in the bath. And of course, some people view people who drink in the bath as slightly performative and a bit Bridget Jones-esque. There we go. So, with which sport is Katie Boulter? I'm friends with her brother, associated. Katie Boulter, what sport is she associated with? It's not swimming. It's not horse racing. She's not runner. Jane Hennessy gets the point. Jane Hennessy as a new entrant. Jane Hen.
Baby screaming.
The nobody is screaming. Jane Hennessy gets the point. Of course, Katie Boulter is the Britain's number one female tennis player as of 2025. My friend is her brother, and I don't know her, but
Baby squealing.
I'm sorry. There's a woman screaming in the background and making a load of nonsense, but there's nobody screaming at all. Can you please be quiet? Thank you. Right. Okay. What did the Israeli soldiers hand Greta Thunberg, grim Greta, on capturing her on the 9th of June 2025? What did they give her? Matt, Luke, Ken can have it. A sandwich. It was a pastrami sandwich, and they also gave us some water. So, but you got the point. Okay. And next question is: in which year did Elizabeth Hardy wear the Versace safety pin dress, which my friend put on her? My friend was the PR who gave it to her, to attend the premiere of Four Weddings and a Funeral with her then boyfriend Hugh Grant. Which year? The first one of you to say it correctly is it's not 1984, it's not 2024, it's not 1991. Tina De Silva gets it. Tina De Silva, well done. Tina, of course, is correct. It is 1994. So thank you, Tina. So Tina's got the correct thing. Of course, Versace was the only fashion house willing to loan her an outfit. So they were the only ones willing to loan her the outfit. Okay. The next question. This concerns my poor old friend who's died. At what age did the legendary three-time champion jump trainer die in June 2025? Mr. Easterby. Mr. Easterby. What year did, sorry, what age did Mr. Easterby die at? Wits End gets the point. Well done. It is 95. Wits End, well done. Mr. Easterby died at that age, so there we are. He started in 1950, age 21. John Joe O'Neill said he started with nothing, but ended up owning half of Yorkshire. He was a great man. And he was a great man. We loved Mr. Easterby. So, all respect to Mr. Easterby today and to Frederick Forsyth. We've lost a lot of great people in the last few days, and I'm very, very sad that so many wonderful people who I really adore are dying, and it's not very nice to have all these people going, and I'm very sad. I'm very, very sad about this. Mr. Easterby was somebody I respected, and I would always, I was taught to respect people like that. My father had great respect for such people, so we miss Mr. Easterby. So we really do. I'm very, very sad about this. And I'm very sad about Frederick Forsyth as well. And my final question is about Frederick Forsyth. So, at what age did Day of the Jackal author Frederick Forsyth die on the 9th of June 2025? He was the master storyteller, and I loved Frederick. Frederick was an absolutely amazing man. What age did he die at? He wasn't 94, he wasn't 57, he wasn't 90, he wasn't 70, he wasn't 69, he wasn't 82. Pretty close, some of you. He wasn't 95, he wasn't 68. No, no, no. He wasn't 88, but you're close. The closest thus far is right. Jane Hennessy can have it because you'll say 85. It doesn't change the winner of the quiz, but it was 86. But the winner of our quiz tonight is Matt Luke. Matt Luke is our winner. So thank you to Matt Luke, who's got. Actually, no, we don't have Matt Luke as a winner because we've got Woodsox versus Matt Luke. Oh dear. Oh dear. We've now got a problem. Oh dear. Now we need another question. Oops, we've done it again. It's a tie. Yes, precisely. So, right, I'm going to have to think of another question. This is where we get into problems. Okay. My question will be a very simple one. Right. Okay. The simple question is this. What is the age as of the moment of Greta Thunberg? What is Greta Thunberg? I can't stand the woman. What is her age? And only Matt Luke and Woodsox can answer. Which age is she? Matt Luke has already answered. So Matt Luke is the winner. Matt Luke is the winner because the answer is 22 years old. So well done to Matt Luke, who is the winner of our quiz. So you've won the quiz. There we go. But well done to Anna Cleves and Woodsox, who of course came second. Well done. And Anna Cleves and Jane OK and TMTB and Miss Marple, Audrey and Jonna and Witsend and Tina de Silva and Jane Hennessy and Linz and all the rest. Dance up, and that's that. So yeah, thank you very much for joining in. So it's been lovely of you all to join in. Right, if you have a few more questions, we can do a few more questions for a few more minutes. We don't need to talk about that thing, that rat. You can't really see it. Anyway, there it is. That nasty little woman. She really is. She deserves throwing down the well, does that little pest. Tonight I'll have an early night. It's still, well, it's already nearly 10:30, so it's not that late. It's not that early, I mean. So it'll soon be time for me to go to bed and get rid of all these sunglasses and all the rest of it. So anyway, we can have another little. We can't do any more quizzes because I haven't got any more quizzes because I haven't finished mine. But anyway, we had a winning entrant to the quiz, so I better write that down. I better give it a tick. And our winner, chicken dinner. So boom. Our winner was Matt Luke. So Matt Luke. There we go. Thank you, Matt Luke, for winning our quiz. That's very, very good of you. And tomorrow's quiz, you see, I haven't even got to question number 10. So I need to speed up with my questions. You see, it's very hard to write all these questions. It takes an awful lot of time. It's a lot of work, and I can't do it, the speed of light. So I need to have a bit more time. I did have a whole stockpile, but you got through those in one night when you wanted to have loads of questions. So anyway, I don't know who's won the most quizzes, but there we go. And thank you for saying I'm amazing. That's very nice. And you adore Min. Okay, well, there we go. Oh dear. The Blue Nomad says we were going to go to Port Grimo, but they have an algae infection. There we go. Yes. Well, I believe the beach is in blocked. Yes. There's an algae infection. Yes. It's very unfortunate, but we're not getting that here. So anyway, did I donate to the torpedo boat for Greta? No, I did not donate to anything for Greta. I won't be supporting her. Right, okay. So you can't come to Port Grimo because there is a problem with algae infection. There we go. Right, okay. Well, anyway, never mind. It doesn't matter. So anyway, next thing. Well, we don't have to go there, so we're not going to the beach because the beach is infected. Yes, so it's got an algae infection. Okay. Well, you know more than I do, in fact. But I was warned that the beach was infected, so now you've confirmed only what we already knew. Most unfortunate, but I'm sure it will clear up in due course. So there we go. Tina would like a postcard. Okay, well, Tina, send me your address. Send me a text message if you could. It's better if you send me a text message or some kind of other form of message. And I'll send you a postcard. I haven't sent anybody a postcard yet, but if you'd like a postcard, I'll send you a postcard because it would be a pleasure to send you a postcard. Of course. How can you send me a text if you don't know my number? Well, send me an email, editorial at thesteepletimes.com. It's very easy. Very easy. If you want to send me an email, send me an email. It's much easier. I'm not giving out my phone number to anybody because that's not a good idea. Because I don't want a bunch of stalkers. So no, thank you. No, thank you indeed. Right. Okay. Editorial at thesteepletimes.com. Precisely. Thank you, Tina, for sharing the email address. If they wish to contact me, you are very welcome to contact me at that. But no, I'm not giving out phone numbers. That's not a very good idea. That's like a completely crazy thing to do because then you get some real old nutters as well. I am on Facebook. I use Facebook, but I don't. I have it, but I don't look at it. I don't look at Instagram. I do Twitter. At m_steeples or at Steeple Times. I'm very big on Twitter. Twitter is my main social media. I don't do. I have all the others, but I don't bother. I'm not really interested in any of the others. I've got about 40,000 followers on Twitter. Twitter is more my thing than anything, or X as it's now known. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me there, or you can follow me on here, YouTube. But I'm not really interested in any of the other things. I prefer Twitter, or whatever it's called, X as it's now known. But I don't really write anything on anything. I haven't done social media since the beginning of this year. I've kind of given up on it. I've become a bit of a recluse, to be honest. I like books. So I don't know. We'll see. But when I have a new computer and a new telephone, maybe I'll become more into it all again. But it's when the devices don't work very well, you just kind of don't bother. So it's not worth the effort. It's too much effort. So nope, not really into it. So next, do I have OnlyFans? No, I don't have OnlyFans. No, I don't have OnlyFans. No, not on that. Right. What do I do on TikTok? No, I don't bother with that. I have a TikTok account, but I don't use it. No. Do I use MySpace? No, don't use that. Right. Okay, do I use Bebo? No, don't use that. Right. Okay, you're asking me all sorts of questions. Have I ever met Hugh Hefner? Yes, I have met Hugh Hefner. I met him in Los Angeles with Maurice Kambar because Sky Vodka was, of course, one of the biggest advertisers in Playboy magazine. So of course I met Hugh Hefner. He was perfectly pleasant. I met him for 5 seconds, so I don't really know much about him. He was perfectly pleasant. Right. Pig Pig says hello. Please say hello. Hello to Pig Pig. Okay. Hello to Pig Pig. Okay. Have I ever played Guitar Hero? I don't know what Guitar Hero is, so no, I haven't. No. Um, does Bridget Bardot ever leave her house? I've absolutely no idea. I don't know anything about Bridget Bardot leaving her house. I believe she lives in somewhere near Saint Tropez. Um, she she can go wherever she wants to go. But I don't know. I've no idea if leaves her house. So we say good luck to you, Bridget Bardot. That's all I can say. I don't know anything about Bridget Bardot leaving her house. That's not really for me. The Blue Nomad says she cares for the animals. She lives near Saint Tropez, Miss Marple. Da 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 da. Da. And well, yes, I'm sure she does. But I don't know anything about Bridget Bardot, and I'm not really that interested in Bridget Bardot. Let's be frank. Okay, next question. Do I ever go to Monaco for the Grand Prix? I haven't been to Monaco for the Grand Prix. No, I've never been there. So no, never done that yet. But maybe one day. We're going up there for a wedding, in a couple of weeks. So we'll be having a little jaunt to a wedding. So that'll be nice. Have I planned my own 50th birthday? Well, I don't want to plan my 50th birthday because I'm not nearly 50. I'm 43. So I'm not ready to plan my 50th birthday yet. I haven't even planned my 45th, have I? So no, I don't want to plan that yet. No, no, thank you. No. Um, right. Um, right. Okay. Okay, well, you've gone quiet on your questions, so I think that's enough of that. So, right, okay, well, it's probably time I go to bed, to be honest. I think that's probably what's coming next. I think it's better I give up soon, given that you don't have any more questions. So, what did I think of the Derby winner? I don't know because I haven't seen who the Derby winner is. I'd love to know who won the Derby, but I didn't get to see the Derby. So you went to the Grand Prix in Monaco. It was very loud. You put it in other terms. Okay, well, there we go. Right. Well, I think it's probably best I say good night, good gardening, and all of you take care. Loving, pip pip, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for your kind participation. You've been absolutely lovely. You've been delightful. You've been wonderful. And I'm going to say pip pip and good gardening. Take care. Night night.